Thanks for stopping by the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the real of reality TV.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, feels so nice.
What's up, guys? So we have a few things that we need to talk about, and I had not gotten around to talking about Kim Zolciak recently because one, I don't really care that much, but it's just kind of funny that all of the ish that she talked over the years when she was on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and they gave this woman chance after chance after chance. I mean, I don't believe she deserved any of it. I don't even believe she deserved to be on the show in the first place. And if it wasn't for Nene, she wouldn't have been there. And she's an extremely ungrateful person. And I will never forget how she did Candy. She used Candy. She got her little one hit off of Candy's hard work and was extremely ungrateful and didn't want to pay Candy any of the money. And Candy was like, such a good friend to this girl. She did not deserve the friendship and the help that she got. But listen, that's a lesson learned. And Candy was like, well, I learned just not to mix business and friendship ever again. But, you know, it is what it is. But with that being said, Kim, she had the spinoff. I didn't watch the spinoff. I had seen clips of it. And then all of the trailer park trash news stories of her and Kroy being in all of these fights were coming out, right? Now, so recently, a few weeks ago, they were forced out of their home by the Georgia Marshals, not U.S. Marshals. The Georgia Marshals forced them out of the mansion. They got foreclosed on. They were still living in the house. And then they finally had to get kicked out. So in light of all of that, I guess they decided, you know what? We're going to stay together. So I'm going to share my screen. We're just going to talk about this a little bit because I really want to know what you guys think. So Kim Zolciak and ex Kroy Biermann's plans to keep their family together amid divorce drama is revealed. As their rancorous feud continues to rage amid their divorce, Kim Zolciak and Kroy Biermann have agreed to a summer co-parenting plan for their children. Now, this story is saying that they're just staying together for the kids. But stories that I have seen have said that they actually are not going to get divorced. I don't think they can afford it because it costs a lot of money for the divorce attorneys. And like I said, I didn't watch the show, so it's crazy seeing these kids this big because I just remember seeing her pregnant and seeing the little kids. So these are all the kids that she had with Kroy. And they look like Kroy. They all look like Kroy. But if you recall and you remember, he also adopted her two daughters that she had prior to the relationship with Kroy. And the youngest daughter that she had before she got with Kroy, Ariana, she's on that new show on the Bravo network, Next Gen NYC. I haven't watched it. I thought about it, and I've seen some of the clips, and I actually thought about talking about it a little bit, and I might still do that. But Ariana, she revealed that Kim took a lot of her money, Kim and Kroy. So she didn't just say her mom. She said this one right here. And Kroy took a lot of the money that she made. And it's like this woman does not know how to live on a budget. She's used to being taken care of. I don't know what anyone has ever seen in her. Like, look at her. I get it. These are her children and they love her. And even the Bible says, respect your mom and dad. So I guess that's just what they're doing. But this chick is horrible. She's horrible. And she's just become one of these people that is going to bounce from reality show to reality show because they have nothing else going on with their lives and they need to make money. So in order to do what they need to do to live the type of life that they want to live, they're just going to bounce from reality show to reality show. So she's been on a few other shows. I have not watched any of those. But what do you think about Kim and Kroy staying together and just calling off the divorce, and also them getting kicked out of the mansion finally? And I don't know anybody else. I don't know anybody else who has gotten a home foreclosed on and have been able to stay in the home as long as they have been able to do it. So I don't have any sympathy for them. I don't have any sympathy for Kroy. His mama tried to warn him, and his life has just become a big piece of shit since he has been with this chick. And I guess he's just kind of given up. So he just said, I'm just going to stick with her because what else can I do? And I don't have any money to keep paying these divorce lawyers. So we'll just stay married and have sex with each other from time to time, I guess. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. All right. So speaking of terrible marriages, and one that probably at some point is going to wind up in divorce, Teresa Giudice. Now, this isn't about her marriage, but it kind of relates to it. I'm going to share my screen, and I saw this clip where she was on the news in Chicago. Well, WGN News. So she wasn't in Chicago, so it was, via satellite, Zoom, whatever. But she got asked a question that she was not expecting, and she could not find the button to get off of that interview and get off of that call, but they called her out. All right, so let's get to it. I'm going to share my screen. All right, let me refresh it and unmute it.
The reboot of New Jersey, are you going to be involved in it at all?
I hope. I'm the OG, yes. So we'll see what happens.
Look at her face. Look at all of this tightness around her eyes, those big bloated lips. What is going on with her face? But the ego is more inflated than those lips. And I blame Bravo and Andy Cohen for this, because they asked her if she's coming back. Well, I'm the OG, so yes. I know I don't talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey over here a lot, and I actually have not really watched the show in the last 5 years, but I was one of the people, I was watching it from the beginning. And this chick is terrible. I don't know why she has such a heavy, strong fan base. I don't know what it is that they see in her. I think her children have given her a lot of the grace that she's received from people, because I will say, over the years, especially when they were younger, mainly when they were younger, I will say it was cute to see the little kids and see how they would call her out and say the stuff that they would say to the dad, Joe, and whatever. And they were a trip. But Teresa, she is a convict. She couldn't even say the word prison. And even though she may not have been the mastermind behind everything, I believe that she knew what was going on with her husband at the time, now ex-husband and father of her 4 kids. So I don't sit here and say that she was a victim. And she believes she thinks more highly of herself than she really should think.
You have to ask Bravo for that.
Yeah, so you're going to be in Zanies. People are going to ask you all kinds of questions. And how is it that a family doesn't pay their taxes for years?
What family are you talking about?
Your family. Was that what the fraud charges were?
Okay, I'm hanging up. Okay, let's just hang up. That's it.
She was having a little bit of difficulty there.
Oh, she didn't like that question.
Yeah. What's going to happen?
No, she didn't like that question.
Yeah.
Wasn't that part of the show?
Well, she did go to jail for 11 months, and now I think her and her husband, they're facing tax charges again, but I don't know where that case stands. We would have asked her about it.
You can't move back to the country.
Yeah, her ex-husband is now living abroad, but
It's what reality shows are made of.
I don't know if her friends at Zanies are going to ask her about that, but well.
Anyway, we'll find out. I'd love to know.
And we'll see if she's on the new season of Real Housewives of New Jersey.
We're 0 for 1 on Bravo interviews. We got one more. Let's see.
Child. They were so messy. But listen, the tax charges are not with the ex-husband. It's with the new husband. First of all, Joe was deported several years ago. So even if he had some leftover residue of tax stuff that they didn't get to prior to them deporting him, there's nothing that they can do about it now. Just like Simon, they deported Simon, so there's no way they can enforce him doing the right thing and making sure that Porsha's alimony is paid and the bills for the mansion that she wants to continue to floss in for a year and a half more will be taken care of. They cannot enforce it. This is with the new husband. Teresa is so delusional, and she cut her brother and his wife off. She had been jealous of his wife for years. And I'm not saying that Melissa Gorga is an innocent angel either, but she's always been jealous of that woman, okay? But this is stuff with the new husband, and they tried to warn her, and she did not listen. So listen, we're going to stay tuned to see what goes on with Teresa and the new husband, because I was here for the news station asking her that question. You could say it was messy, it was wrong. That's not what she was there for. That, you know, how could they do that to her, whatever. But yeah. Yeah. That was funny. I want to know what you guys think about that. And finally, we have got to talk about Porsha and this divorce sit down chat and photo shoot and all this bull jive, because this woman is a trip. Please don't come in my comments. Hey, comment what you want to comment. I'll decide if it stays or not. Or sometimes YouTube makes that decision. But I am far from a hater, definitely far from jealous. Save the tired, lazy reads, because not everybody wants to live a life where they are looking for the next dick that's going to be able to take care of them. Some of us actually work for a living and actually are in meaningful relationships that we have been in for years, where there actually is real love and we're not just looking for a benefactor. So no, I am far from jealous of Porsha, okay? Don't want her life, never have, never will. So with that being said, just had to put that little disclaimer out there, because I saw this and I was like, girl, you have got to be kidding me. But no. She really thinks she's Bernadine from Waiting to Exhale? Are you serious right now? And please tell me that this is actually just something that they had created, because I know she ain't really on the cover of the Real People magazine, right? Are we seeing this for what it really is? Tell me this is like the fake Time magazine cover that Donald Trump had made years ago, where he was never on the cover of Time magazine, and then he finally got it after running for president the third time. But anyway, this has got to be fake. But really? You really think that you're a victim? I know that Bernadine was a fictional character. Waiting to Exhale was a fictional book. Overall. But that character actually was a victim. Her husband that she had been with for years, that she helped to build him up, build his business, had children with him. She was a stay-at-home mom. What? Girl, please. Are you kidding me? Porsha Williams can finally exhale. Seriously. Some of the comments said, should have never inhaled another woman's husband in the first place. Let me heart that. Somebody said the fire she started. Yeah. Okay, this is backwards. Delusion was a person. Don't get me wrong, that was fire, but the concept doesn't match the situation. Angela wasn't messing with nobody's husband. Facts. It was actually the husband that was, girl. Try it again and do Sheila's friend from Why Did I Get Married, or Faith from Soul Food. Maybe. I don't know. Hearted. Hilarious. Like she's a victim. Thank you. This is my point, guys. You are not a victim. is really people? Like, seriously? This is, I'm honestly disgusted because the fact that this chick is, who came up with this concept? I don't even believe Porsha, well, Porsha really is not that bright. So I don't even believe she came up with the concept, but whoever came up with this concept is delusional and as stupid as all get out because, child, please, what did you help Simon to build up except getting his teeth done? Girl, bye. And helping him to have enough confidence to be on social media doing all of the posts that he's done and whatever. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, you might be able to exhale because the divorce is final, but let's see if you're going to be breathing easy when you're not getting those payments and then you're having to figure it out on your own because you had your husband, I believe, deported, and they cannot enforce him to do anything because he is no longer a resident. He wasn't a citizen. He's no longer a resident of this country and of the state of Georgia. So it's absolutely ridiculous. I laughed at first when I saw it, and then I got disgusted. This woman is delusional. She is not a victim. Not a victim at all. Child. So yeah, you go viral for that, but it's disgusting. I just can't. I can't with her. And then we have her talking about the struggles that she's had with men that it made her consider turning to women for love. Really?
It's lonely. I can't connect with other men. You know, it's like people trying to introduce me, but it's just when it's not the same, it's not the same. So I'm going to do it different this time. I'm going to be alone until I'm whole. And then when I'm whole, then I will,
Allow another man to fill her hole.
open myself back up so I don't make the same mistake again. When you go through a bad enough breakup, you're like, I don't like nobody. Like, you're like, I don't like nobody. I was sitting there, I was like, do I like women enough? Can I get with a woman? Like, who can come in and fill this void? Like, oh my God, somebody. I have got to be able to sit with someone and feel a part of what I felt with him. But I don't yet. It'll come. It'll come. But I'm like, and I think that now that I'm realizing that because what I've decided is that I'm not going to look for it anymore. So I'm not going to like push myself into dating or anyone or trying to figure out, who do I like? Who could I be around? Because this is probably also part of healing. I mean, just sitting with this, sitting with being alone, sitting with the loss and let myself heal the loss. And I know I'm crying right now, but I feel good every day.
Are you crying?
Each day I get better. Each day I feel stronger. But
I don't think she's crying. I think her eyes are sweating. I think her eyes are sweating profusely. I think that's perspiration coming from her eyes. I really don't believe those are tears.
But I ain't gonna lie, it's hard. It's hard living lonely when you have to live lonely for a while.
I can't listen to more of this crap, and I don't even know if there's any more to it, but she considered turning to while healing from her divorce. Bitch, wasn't you telling Candy that you wanted to suck her body parts in between her legs until she released her flow? I'm going to put it like that. You weren't considering turning to women back then, and you said that. And then you tried to, like she does in, recent times, blaming it on the Henny, blaming it on the liquor. I was under the influence of alcohol. Girl, this chick ain't nothing but I was about to say something. I'm going to not say that. But I will say that I don't believe her. I do not believe she is a victim. And she's said on multiple occasions that not she has considered turning to women, that she has done it. Okay? Get out of here with the BS. I can't with this chick. Somebody said, no, she likes men with money. The wrong type of men with money. You ain't no lesbian. Go heal. I think she's bisexual. Honestly, who's her acting coach? Because somebody said only Jesus can fill that void. I don't think she's looking for Jesus. Here comes Ty Young in 3, 2. Yeah, because you know she likes women and reality shows. Porsha sounds like a woman who's afraid to be alone. Child, please, this act. You want a relationship so badly, you might eat coochie and don't even want to. Bye. Child, please, you marry that man for his money. Let's not throw a pity party here. Facts. Girl, be a mother to your daughter. Focus on that, sweetie. That void she's speaking of can't be healed by a man or a woman. Prayer hands. Child, she's not being genuine. Save the sympathy for somebody else because she doesn't deserve it. Porsha Diane Williams, stop. You're no victim here. Baby, when karma spins that block, it's going to be vicious and very public. And I agree. And unfortunately, the karma isn't done. I just do not have any type of respect. And hey, she doesn't need my respect. I'm quite sure she is quite fine without my respect or any of our respect. But she used that man. And again, like I said before, I'm not saying that Simon is a victim of hers either. He deserved to be with somebody like that because of the way he's done other people in the past. He sees relationships as transactional, which is why he had that prenup drawn up the way that it was. He just got the short end of the stick because he did not expect it to be that quick. Only 15 months, and under the radar, there was like no type of signs for him, really. I believe there were signs there, but I believe he chose to ignore them. But it wasn't like he was prepared for it, and he doesn't like to be blindsided. So he allowed things to happen that he was okay with while he was getting what he wanted, and she allowed things to go on while she was getting what she wanted. But when it seemed like things were about to flip on her, that's when she decided to pull the switch and say, I also want the house that you purchased before we got married as well. Give me that. And you and your kids can't come in this house anymore. I'm sorry, guys. This chick is trash. And I don't care what anybody has to say. Be a fangirl, be a stan, whatever you want to be. That has no bearing on me. And I'm free to share my opinion on my platform the way that I decide to do it. That's why I created my own instead of leaving a bunch of comments in other people's commentary. I still comment on other people's stuff, but I do it here. And so if you don't like my opinion, this is an opinionated space. This is not journalism. This is not a news station. I am not Fox, CNN, MSNBC, or any of those other networks where they're just reporting the news. And even those are more opinion-based these days. So with all of that being said, I want to know what you guys think about all of this. So let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.